Hello, mighty companion. This is Earl Purdy, and I want to welcome you to Hardcore Course in Miracles here on Facebook Live. And we're going to talk about how do you remember love, peace, joy, the Creator? How do you remember the truth in the midst of everything that's going on in your life and in the world? I'm going to talk about the way to remember God, the way to remember love, the way to remember truth. How do you remember truth? How do you remember love? How do you remember the Creator in the midst of everything that's going on right now? We're going to talk about that. I'm going to talk about that in Hardcore Course in Miracles. I want to welcome you. It is always a blessing, and it always feels so great to get a chance to share with you. Hello, hello, hello. So let's start out with our theme song, We Are One, from Brother John Christmas at www.johnChristmas.com. Let's get a little music to get us centered into this grand and glorious time that we have to spend together. Here we go.
There's a call for God, I see it everywhere. Everybody's running scared, and everything is turning upside down. But the words I hear, they keep coming through from deep inside of me and you. It's telling us that love is who I am. You and me, we're not that far apart. Yeah, we're beating the same heart. We've been together from the start. Tell me, can you hear it? Tell me, can you feel it? Put your arms around it and know that we are one. Yeah, yeah, we are one. Now let's come together and understand that love was born inside of every man. He's waiting for us to choose love as ourselves. When you choose him, you know you choose me too. And everyone becomes a part of you. And then you will know that love is who I am. You and me were not that far apart. Yeah, we're beating the same heart. We've been together from the start. Tell me, can you hear it? Tell me, can you feel it? Put your arms around it and know that we are one. Yeah, yeah, we are one. Oh, we are one.
Hello, mighty companion. This is Earl Purdy. I want to welcome you to Hardcore Course in Miracles here on Facebook Live. I'm so glad that we care enough to connect with each other live so we can join our energy together on experiencing miracles. I'm going to do the way to remember God, the way to remember love, the way to remember peace. Page 218, page 218 in the Course in Miracles text. Page in the Foundation for Inner Peace version, page 218.
You and me were not that far apart. same heart. We've been together from the start. Tell me, can you hear it? Tell me, can you feel it? Put your arms around it. Know that we are one.
I'm pleased to be with you too.
Oh, we are one. Yeah, yeah, we are one. Oh, we are one. I am you, and you are me.
That's what I'm talking about. 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 This is A Course in Miracles. The Course in Miracles is a required course. Only the time you take the Course in Miracles is voluntary. Free will doesn't mean that you can establish the curriculum. Free will means only that you can elect what you want to take at a given time. This course does not aim at teaching the meaning of love. This course doesn't aim at teaching the meaning of love. For the meaning of love is beyond what can be taught. The meaning of love is beyond what can be taught. The Course in Miracles does aim, however, at removing the blocks to the awareness of love's presence. So what is the Course in Miracles trying to do? Remove the blocks to your awareness of the presence of love. The purpose of the Course is to remove the blocks to the awareness of love's presence. Love's presence is your natural inheritance. Love is your natural inheritance. Love is your natural inheritance. The opposite of love is fear. What is the opposite of love? The opposite of love is fear. Fear is the opposite of love. Anger is the opposite of love. Depression is the opposite of love. Sickness is the opposite of love. Lack is the opposite of love. But love is all-encompassing. So what is all-encompassing can have no opposite. So how do we sum up the Course in Miracles? This course can therefore be summed up very simply. A Course in Miracles can be summed up very simply in this way. In this way, A Course in Miracles can be summed up. Nothing real can be threatened. Nothing unreal exists. Nothing real can be threatened. If it's real, nothing can threaten it. If your relationship is real, nothing can threaten it. If it's real, nothing real can be threatened. Nothing unreal exists. Nothing real can be threatened. Nothing unreal exists. Herein lies the peace of God. Now, I want you to remember this. I want you to remember this. I want you to remember this. These are the guidelines. You don't have to believe these ideas. You don't have to believe these ideas. You don't have to accept these ideas that I share from A Course in Miracles. You don't even have to welcome the ideas that I share from A Course in Miracles. Some of the ideas you may actively resist. Some of the ideas you may actively resist. Some of the ideas you might find hard to believe. Some of the ideas you may find hard to believe. Some of the ideas may startle you. Some of the ideas may startle you. Some of the ideas that I share with you may startle you. You are not asked to judge. You are not asked to judge and analyze the ideas at all. You're not asked to judge or analyze the ideas at all. Their use will give the ideas meaning to you and will show you that the ideas are true. Their use will give the ideas meaning to you. Using the ideas will give the ideas meaning to you and will show you that the ideas are true. This is from A Course in Miracles. And one of my favorite lines is that the Course in Miracles says, no matter what your reaction to the ideas may be, still use the ideas. So if I share something with you, no matter what your reaction may be, just use it, because it's the use of the ideas that will show you that the ideas are true. We're going to be on page 218 in the Foundation for Inner Peace version of A Course in Miracles. And we're going to be in a section called The Way to Remember God. How do you remember God? How do you remember God? How do you remember your Creator? How do you remember love? How do you remember the truth, especially in the world and in the experience that you're having right now? How do you remember God? We keep hearing that there is a God, that there is a Creator, there is a source, which is love. Well, how do you remember God? If you are not consciously aware of the presence of the higher power, how do you remember God? I am the remembering coach. I am the divine repetition teacher. My goal is the practical application of the Course in Miracles ideas. And my goal is to support you in remembering what we're being told. After 40 plus years of studying A Course in Miracles and experiencing miracles every day of my life, that blow my mind since I've been teaching and learning this Course in Miracles, I want to save you time. A Course in Miracles says the purpose of a relationship is to save you time, is to speed you toward your happiness, not delay it. So my goal is to save us time. So we're in chapter 12 in the text, section 2, paragraph 1. So I hope you have your book, those of you, because this is hardcore. So here we go. Miracles. What are miracles? Miracles are merely the translation of denial. Don't forget to share this video. And I look at and read all your comments. So a miracle is the translation of denial into truth. So a miracle is basically you and I no longer denying the truth. It's a miracle if we stop denying the truth. It's a miracle if we actually apply the expressions of love, the truth. So miracles are what? The translation of denial into truth. It's a miracle if we practice the truth. It's a miracle if we stop denying love. It's a miracle if we stop denying God, which are all Course in Miracles definitions of the truth. So how do you heal yourself? How does one heal oneself? How do you heal yourself? How do you heal yourself? Well, if to love oneself is to heal oneself, to love yourself is to heal yourself. So if you want to be healed, if you truly want to be healed in your mind and in any area of your life and in your perception of any area of your life, don't forget that the Course in Miracles is concerned with perception and mind training, teaching you how to think and see things a way that will give you peace. The Course in Miracles works at the mind level. A Course in Miracles focuses on our perception. So, if to love oneself is to heal oneself, those who are sick do not love themselves. Those who are sick are not loving themselves. And the Course in Miracles says that sickness is not right-mindedness, that sickness is not right-mindedness. So when the Course in Miracles talks about sickness, it's talking about those who are in any form of fear or conflict. Those who are sick do not love themselves. So when you're sick, you're in a period of not loving yourself. So those who are sick do not love themselves. Therefore, what are those who are sick asking for? So when you're upset, when you are afraid, when you're feeling conflict, when you're feeling anxiety, then the Course in Miracles says, when you are sick, what are you asking for? Well, when you are sick, you're asking for the love that would heal you. So a sick person, an unhappy person, is asking for love, and they're asking for the love that would heal them. Those who are sick are doing what? They're asking for the love that would heal them. So if there's anyone around you, including yourself, that you perceive as sick, that person is asking for the love that would heal them, the love that would undo their fear. The Course in Miracles says healing is the undoing of fear, that all sickness, all lack, all pain is an expression of fear. So those who are sick don't love themselves. So they're asking for the love that would heal them. But it's the love which they are denying to themselves. So when you're in sickness, or when you feel lack or anxiety or pain or fear, or you know anyone that's feeling sickness or lack or anxiety or depression or pain, they are denying love to themselves. So they're asking for the love that would heal them, that they are denying to themselves. If you are sick, if you are worried, if you are full of anxiety about something, then you are asking for the love that would heal you. But it's the love you are denying to yourself. Because if a person was not denying the love to themselves, they wouldn't be in sickness. They wouldn't be sick. They wouldn't be in lack. They wouldn't be in worry. So the next time, what are you going to do the next time you feel in any form of fear or lack or sickness? You're going to remind yourself. What are you going to remind yourself of? You're going to remind yourself that right now, for some reason, you're not loving yourself. You're not loving yourself. That's why you feel the fear, the anxiety, the lack, the upset, the depression, the anger, whatever it is. It's because right now you're not loving yourself. But when you're not loving yourself, what you're really doing is asking for the love that would heal you. Right now I'm unhappy, so I'm asking for the love that would heal me. I am feeling sick, so I'm asking for the love that would heal me. But it's the love you're denying to yourself. You are denying love to yourself. Now, what you want to do, as much as you can, you want to remember the interpretations that the Course in Miracles is giving right now, which is, when you love yourself, you heal yourself. So when you're sick and unhappy, it just means you're not loving yourself. You don't have to make up the meanings of A Course in Miracles. You don't have to come up with your own interpretations of what it's saying. What you want to do is let yourself really hear exactly what the Course in Miracles is telling you. It's telling you that the miracles come from you not denying the truth. Then it says that if to love yourself is to heal yourself, then that means those who are sick don't love themselves. So those who are sick All right. Those who are sick are asking for the love that would heal them. But when you are sick or unhappy or in lack in any way, it means you are denying love to yourself right now. That's why you're not happy. That's why a person is afraid. That's why a person doesn't have peace, because they're denying love to themselves. Do you know you couldn't be sick? Do you know that you couldn't even have lack or loneliness? Do you know you could not even have what you would perceive as problems? Do you know that you couldn't be sick, that a person couldn't be sick if they knew the truth about themselves? If you knew the truth about yourself, you couldn't be unhappy. If you knew the truth about yourself, you couldn't be angry. If you knew the truth about yourself, you couldn't be lonely. If you knew the truth about yourself, you couldn't be in any form of lack. If you knew the truth about yourself. So when you're experiencing pain or loneliness or unhappiness, it means you don't know the truth about yourself. That's not a condemnation. That's not a judgment. I'm just telling you what the Course in Miracles is saying. I'm a messenger. I'm delivering a message. For 40 years, I have been delivering this message. And I've seen and experienced blessings and miracles that would sound like science fiction to you if I told you about them. But I had to be willing to admit to myself when I was feeling unhappy or sick or angry or lonely. Instead of blaming someone, I had to tell myself, okay, Purdy, right now you're not loving yourself. That's why you're so weird and upset right now. You're not loving yourself. So you're asking for love. You're calling for love. You're calling for the love that would heal you, that you're denying to yourself. Then I tell myself, if I knew the truth about myself, I couldn't be sick right now. If I knew the truth about myself, I couldn't be worried or concerned or have anxiety right now. So tell yourself that. Tell yourself that. Tell yourself if you're unhappy about anything right now, that you're feeling any kind of sickness in any way, tell yourself, right now, I'm asking for the love that would heal me. And if there's anybody in your life that's sick or unhappy right now, tell yourself, they're not loving themselves. They're asking for the love that would heal them, that they're denying to themselves. If they knew the truth about themselves, they couldn't be sick. If you knew the truth about yourself, if you knew the truth about yourself, you couldn't be sick. If you knew the truth about yourself, you couldn't be sad. If you knew the real truth about yourself, you wouldn't even have the problem that you think you have, according to the Course. If you knew the truth about yourself, you couldn't be sick. You couldn't be in non-right-mindedness. If you knew the truth about yourself. So what is the task of the miracle worker? What is the task of the miracle worker? Well, the task, which is you, what is your task? Your task becomes to deny the denial of truth. In other words, your job is to stop denying the truth. Don't argue with the truth. Don't fight with the truth. If you're going to be a teacher of love, if you're going to be a helper in this world, if you're going to fulfill your function as the light of the world, as the love of the world, then the first thing you should work on is accepting the truth, accepting this truth. If you say the Course in Miracles, for instance, if you say the Course in Miracles is your spiritual path, then if you're going to be a miracle worker, if you're truly going to be a healer or a means for healing, the first thing you got to do, the first thing you must do is deny the denial of truth. Stop denying the truth. Stop denying the truth. What you are reading, what you are studying is true. You may not realize it's true right now. You may have some disbelief or some resistance about what it says right now. But your job, your first responsibility is to stop denying the truth. Because the sick, what is it that the sick must do? The unhappy must do. Those who are sick, those who are unhappy, those who are in conflict, the first thing that you have to do, if you happen to be in that condition, the first thing you need to do is You got to heal yourself. The sick must heal themselves. This, because the truth is in them, the sick must heal themselves. So the truth is in you. 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 The truth is in everyone. The truth is in everyone. It may be blocked. The truth may be hidden. The truth may be hidden. The truth may be denied. God may be hidden. God may be denied. But the truth, the love is in you. So you must heal yourself because the truth is in you. The sick must heal themselves because the truth is in them. But when you're sick, what have you done? When you're unhappy, what have you done? Well, it says, yet having obscured the truth, the sick have hidden the truth. A person that's angry, a person that thinks they're separate, a person that attacks, a person that is in lack, a person that feels guilty. This is a person who is hiding the truth, hiding the love. So a person that's angry, upset, and sick, they must heal themselves, but they have hidden the truth from themselves. They don't know the truth. Like the people around you who are not on any kind of a spiritual path or they're not doing any kind of personal growth work or introspection or meditation or focusing on a higher power. Well, these are people who are hiding the truth. They've hidden the truth. The truth is in them too, but they have hidden the truth. So what do you do? How do you deal with people who have hidden the truth from themselves? How do you deal with people who are sick, who are angry, who feel separate, who have anxiety, who are mean, who are cruel, people who project, people who have grievances, people who attack? How do you handle them? Well, the first thing you tell yourself is, this is a person that doesn't love themselves. If they love themselves, they would be much more peaceful and they'd be much more kind and much happier. So they need the love that would heal them, the truth that would heal them, but they are denying this truth to themselves. So what is it that must happen? The Course in Miracles says, yet having obscured the truth, the light in another man must shine into their minds, because that light in their mind, that light in my mind is the light in your mind. Do you know that the Course in Miracles says light is another term for truth, is another term for love, is another term for God. So another term for light is God, love, understanding. So the Course in Miracles says, okay, so here's a person who needs to heal themselves because the truth is in them. They're sick, they're unhappy, but they've hidden the truth. And so the light in another man, the truth in another man must shine into their mind because that light is theirs. So what does that mean? It means, let's say my cousin is full of anger and upset and grievances. And I know that really means he's just not loving himself right now. Now, he may be telling me about all the things in the outer world that has him upset right now. But I know that if he was really loving himself right now, if he were really loving himself right now, then he wouldn't be sick. He wouldn't be angry. He wouldn't be upset. So I know that he has to heal himself. I know that the truth needs to heal my cousin that's going off. Because a person that's angry and upset, that's a person who is hiding the truth from themselves. Do you know that means that they are hiding the love from themselves? So since they're hiding the love from themselves, they're hiding the healing from themselves, then the truth in my mind, for example, the truth in my mind, the love in my mind, The awareness of God in my mind must shine into their mind, because we are all part of one mind. Do you know that according to the Course in Miracles, there is just one mind, and we are all a part of that one mind, but we don't realize it, right? Because he said that those who are unhappy, those who are sick, those who have fear, are those who have hidden the truth from themselves. So that means the truth in somebody else's mind needs to shine into their mind, because that truth is also their truth. So the cruelest people in the world, those people have love in them. They have the capacity to love in them. They have the truth in them. But the truth is hidden. They buried it. They're not aware of it. And if they're ever going to be happy, if they're going to ever stop attacking, if they're ever going to stop trying to hurt others, then they need the truth. And they need the truth to shine into their mind. So the truth in your mind can shine into the mind of everyone around you and everyone you know. Like I was using the example with my cousin, for instance. If I remembered that my cousin who is upset is asking for love, is asking for the truth, it doesn't mean that I'm going to necessarily preach the truth to him. It doesn't mean necessarily I'm going to say anything to my cousin that's upset. Because the Course in Miracles says that the first thing I should do is ask God, ask the Holy Spirit. I should ask the Holy Spirit, what do you want me to do? Then I'm going to ask the higher power, what do you want me to say? So I'm not going to say anything to my cousin, for example, without asking God what I should say. And even if I should say anything. But what I am going to do is I'm going to think the truth. I'm going to remember the truth. And the truth is, I know that that person is asking for love. That person is hidden the truth about themselves from themselves. That's why they're upset right now. And they need the truth in someone else's mind. Since they've temporarily forgotten the truth for themselves, that they've forgotten that they are loved, loving, and lovable, since they've forgotten that they are spirit, since they have forgotten God, since they have forgotten the truth, then I need to focus on the truth for them. I need to remember what the Course in Miracles has taught me for them, so that the truth in my mind can shine into their mind. Your only job is to supply the loss. That's right, to supply the love. But that does not mean that you're supposed to help them in your own way, that you sit back and you decide what they need and how they need it. What it does mean is that you remember that they need to heal themselves and that they are unhappy because they are not loving themselves. And then you ask higher power what you should say and what you should do. But most of all, you are to remember the truth, that they are not victims of the world they see, that they are entitled to miracles, that he does deserve peace, that that person does deserve love. Let the truth in your mind shine into their mind, because there's only one mind. So whatever goes into your mind goes into the mind of the collective one mind. That's why the Course in Miracles says over and over again, your one responsibility is to accept this truth for yourself. Your responsibility and my responsibility is not to fix anyone else, to correct anyone else. Our job is to focus on the truth and remember the truth, and then ask the Holy Spirit what we should say and what we should do. And when you're listening to the Holy Spirit and you hear the Holy Spirit, then you will feel inspired. You will feel peace. So that's the first thing to recognize. Okay, that's the first paragraph. Now, what was it that we heard? Because remember, I am the remembering coach. I am here to support you in remembering what A Course in Miracles is saying, because I don't know if you know it or not, but those who have been studying A Course in Miracles and actually living it and practicing it will tell you that the more they can remember what it says, the more miracles of healing they experience in their life. It's not about analyzing it. It's about remembering what you're being told. What you're being told is what? Well, you'll have a miracle when you stop denying the truth. When you go ahead and even if you don't understand this, you start using their ideas. The next thing that we were told by Spirit was that if to love oneself is to heal oneself, if to love oneself is how you help yourself, then those who are sick, those who are unhappy, they don't love themselves. Miserable people don't love themselves. People who judge and condemn don't love themselves. People who see themselves as being in constant lack, people who are drama kings and queens, and there's always one thing after another thing after another thing that they're dealing with. It seems like they have all these different problems. That's a reflection of not loving themselves. And so we were told, if you know the truth about yourself, if you know the truth about yourself, you can't be sick. If you know the truth about yourself, you can't be unhappy. If you know the truth about yourself. Now remember, the purpose of the hardcore class is for us to remember what the Course is saying together. It's not for us to teach each other. It's not about you let me know how much you know about the Course, how much you know about metaphysics, how much you know about the truth. And it's not about me trying to let you know everything I know about the truth. That's not what this live broadcast is for. It's for us to, the hardcore is about we are coming together to hear what the Course in Miracles is saying, and we're trying to remember what it's saying because the miracles come from remembering, okay? Not from letting everybody know how much you think you know about the truth. That's not the purpose of this presentation. The purpose of it is for us to join together on remembering what Jesus of the Course is saying to us right now. And what Jesus of the Course is saying to us right now is that those who are sick don't love themselves. They're calling for love. They're asking for the love that would heal them, but it's the love they're denying to themselves. That if a person knew the truth about themselves, they couldn't be sick. If you knew the truth about yourself, you wouldn't have the problem you think you have. So get out of denial. If you see yourself as having problems and challenges right now in some area, then tell the truth about it. Say, right now, for some reason, I'm not remembering the truth about myself. I am not knowing the truth about myself right now in this relationship. I don't know the truth about myself right now on this job. I don't know the truth right now in this situation or circumstance. If you're having fear, if you're having conflict, if you're having sickness, if you're having lack, it means that you have hidden the truth about yourself, or the person you see that's going through challenges. They have hidden the truth about themselves. They need the truth in your mind to shine into their minds. And if you're the one that's suffering, then you need the truth in someone else's mind to shine into yours. So if I'm unhappy right now, if I'm depressed, if I'm worried, I need the truth to shine into my mind because I am hiding it from myself right now. I'm hiding the love for myself right now. If I wasn't hiding the love for myself right now, I would not feel insecure. I would not feel angry. So remember that whenever you're upset, that it's just because at some level in that moment, you're not completely loving yourself. So if you only remembered this first paragraph that I've covered, it would produce miracles of healing in your mind and in your life. If you could just close the book and remember any of the points that I just made from A Course in Miracles, it would take you a long way toward healing right now. Now, in chapter 12, section 2, paragraph 2. Now, I want you to think about the person who is sick, who is in fear, who is unhappy. Do you know that the Course says the light in them, the truth in the sick or unhappy? He says the truth in them shines as brightly. regardless of the density of the fog that obscures it. What does that mean? You could put a black lampshade on a lamp, right? Covering the light bulb. And because it's a solid black lampshade, no light would be coming through it. But would that mean that the light bulb is not shining just as brightly? On a cloudy day, does that mean that the sun is not shining just as brightly as it is on a sunny day? So what is that? So what is the Course in Miracles saying? It's saying the light in the person that's sick, the truth in the person that's sick or unhappy, that truth shines as brightly regardless of the density of the sickness or the lack or the fear or the upset. Right now, you may have fear, you may have anger, you may have upset, you may have worry, you may have anxiety about something, which the Course in Miracles calls fog. The ego is the fog. The sickness is the fog. The lack is the fog. But do you know the light in you, the love in you, the abundance in you, it shines just as brightly. Even if you are hiding your light, even if you're hiding your beauty, even if you're hiding your freedom, even if you're hiding your greatness, it's still there, regardless of the density of the fear that's hiding it. So that means everyone that we see or read about, no matter what they're going through, no matter what they believe, the truth is in everyone, and the truth is shining just as bright in everyone, regardless of what they believe, regardless of what they are going through. So even the people that you see that are going through the greatest challenges that you can imagine, those souls have the truth. They have God. They have love. They have health within them. But right now, it's being hidden. They're hiding it from themselves. And they need someone in their life that remembers the truth of their value for them. They need someone who remembers the truth for them. So what do you do? What do you do if you are the one that is going through a problem or a challenge in some area of your life right now? Well, no, the answer shines just as bright, regardless of the problem that you think you have. The answer to that problem is shining brightly. So what do you do if you give no power to the fog, if you give no power to the fear, if you give no power to the fear, if you give no power to the sickness, if you give no power to the fog to obscure the light? In other words, I'm not going to give any power to the ego to obscure God. I'm not going to give any power to fear to hide the love. I'm not going to give any power to lack to obscure the abundance. If you give no power to the fog to obscure the light, it has none. If you give no power to the fear to hide the truth, it has none. If you don't give any power to your ego, it doesn't have any power. If you don't give any power to that negative, fearful voice, it doesn't have any power. If you don't give any power to what someone else says that's not loving, it doesn't have any power. Nothing that anyone says to you has to have any kind of effect on you unless you give it the power to have an effect on you. Nobody can hurt your feelings unless you give them the power to hurt your feelings, because you are giving what they say power. If they say something you don't like and you're upset, you gave what they said power. So if you give no power to the fog to obscure the light, it has no power. If you give no power to the ego to obscure God, it has no power. If you give no power to the fog, it has none. So the light and the truth in everybody around you shines bright, regardless of what kind of personality, what kind of thoughts, what kind of negative thoughts they may have or fears they may have. If you give no power to the fog, if you give no power to the sickness to hide their health, if you give no power to the sickness in your mind, then it has no power. Now, would you be willing to remember something that I said earlier? what I said earlier was, the Course in Miracles says you don't necessarily preach or necessarily physically say anything to anyone in order to heal them or to correct them, unless you're specifically given guidance by Spirit to do that. But in most cases, what you want to do is remember the truth and remember what the Course teaches when you're in their presence. What would be the easiest thing to do would be to bypass their ego that would resist you and even think you're crazy for what you are saying to them. Or, sometimes the hardest time to reach a person with the truth is when they're most upset. So obviously, what we're being told is that you can let the truth in your mind shine into their mind. Let the truth in your mind shine into their mind. If you give no power to the ego to hide God, love, it has none. Because the ego only has power. Fear only has power. Sickness only has power. When? When does the fog have power? When does sickness have power? When does lack have power? When does anger have power? When does depression have power? It has power only if you give power to it. You are the child of God. You are the mind of love. You are a creation of love. The Course calls it the Son of God. So the ego, the untruth, the fear, the sickness, the lack, the worry, the concern, whatever it is, it only has power. It says right here, for it has power only if the Son of God gives power to it. Does that mean that anything in your experience only has the power that you give to it? That's exactly what it means. The only thing that has any power over you is what you give power over you. So what do? Well, sickness, unhappiness, lack would only have power over me if I give it power over me. So what must I do? I must myself do what? I must withdraw that power. So how do you withdraw the power that you're letting your ego have over you? How do you withdraw the power that you're letting your poverty or lack have over you? How do you withdraw the power that you're letting the world have over your peace, if you are? How do you withdraw the power? How do you withdraw the power that you've given the sickness over you? Would you like to know how? It's right there in front of you. It says, you must yourself withdraw that power. How do you withdraw that power? You withdraw that power by remembering that all power is of God. So you withdraw the power from the sickness, from the ego, by remembering that all power is of love, that all power is of love, all power is of God, all real power is of the Creator. That's how you withdraw the power that you give the ego or your fear or your anger. The Course says you remember. Notice that in this one paragraph, I think it says remember about 7 or 8 times in this one paragraph. The Course in Miracles is about remembering, not forgetting, remembering. The Course in Miracles is not about analyzing, judging, analyzing it. It's not about that. It says right here, if you want to withdraw the power, you remember that all power, if you want to withdraw the power you've given to anything that causes you pain and upset, you have to remember that all power comes from love. All power comes from the Creator. All power comes from God. Now, do you know you can remember that all power is of God for everybody? Do you know that you can remember the truth for everyone? That is a powerful, bold statement that the Course in Miracles makes. It says you need to remember that all power is of God, all power is of love, and you can remember this for all the sonship. You can remember that all power, you can remember the truth for everyone and everybody. You can remember the truth for everyone and everybody, but you have to remember the truth yourself. So what do? You don't allow a person not to remember. So Why is it that you don't want to allow another person not to remember the truth? Because their forgetfulness is your forgetfulness, because we are all one. I am you and you are me. I am you and you are me. So if I'm forgetting the truth, that means that a part of you, that a part of your mind is forgetting the truth. But if I remember the truth, it means a part of you is now remembering the truth. So your remembering is the other person's remembering. Because there's one thing. Do you know the one thing the Course said we've forgotten? We've forgotten that God cannot be remembered alone. You're not going to remember the truth by yourself. Love can't be remembered alone, because love means you're not alone. The very definition of love is unity and joining. Unity and joining is what love is. So you can't remember God by yourself. You can't remember love alone, and that's what you've forgotten. You've forgotten that you can't remember the truth alone. That if you remember the truth, everybody's remembering the truth. If you were to picture a pot and you were pouring water in the pot, it wouldn't make any difference what part of the pot you poured the water in. All the water in the pot would rise equally. So just focus on you accepting the Course in Miracles or the truth for yourself. Just concentrate on you remembering the truth. Because in your remembering the truth, you are helping everyone remember the truth. So remember, to perceive the healing of another as the healing of yourself, that's how you remember God. So how do you remember God? How do you remember love? See the healing of another person as the healing of yourself. See the happiness of another person as the happiness of yourself. See the prosperity of another person as the prosperity of yourself. See the freedom of another person as the freedom of yourself. See the peace of another person as the peace of yourself. To perceive the healing of another as the healing of yourself is the way to remember God. The way to remember love, the way to remember God, is to remember that all power is of the Creator. So, do you know that you forgot your brothers and sisters with God? I forgot God, and I also forgot that you are connected to me and I'm connected to you. I forgot God, I forgot my Creator, and that's what's happening every time I'm upset or sick or unhappy. And sometimes I forget you too, by the way. Like the Course says, you forgot your brothers with God. And so what is God's answer? What is God's answer to your forgetting? What is the Creator's answer? What is your Creator's answer to your forgetting? Well, your Creator is giving you the way to remember. The Course in Miracles is giving you the way to remember the truth. The Course in Miracles is giving you the way to remember your relationship with God. The Course in Miracles is teaching you how to remember forgiveness and joining and peace and happiness and how to have it if you really want to have it. But it does take some attention and study. There's no way that you're going to master the kind of happiness and peace that the Course in Miracles promises without giving the Course in Miracles or whatever truth book you are drawn to attention and study. And the Course in Miracles is made up of 3 books in one. There's the text that gives you the theoretical foundation of the material. And then there is the workbook that has practical exercises you do every day to teach you how to apply this to your everyday experience. So you can't call yourself a true teacher of God, a teacher of the Course or love, according to A Course in Miracles, if you haven't done the workbook. The workbook is what makes everything I'm saying happen. And then the third book in A Course in Miracles is the Manual for Teachers, which I actually recommend that people start with because it's the easiest of the 3 books of the Course to read, and it helps you understand the terminology that it uses in the text and in the workbook. So God has answered you. God has given you a way to remember the truth that you've forgotten. And it's the truth that a person forgets. It's forgetting the truth that causes the sickness, that causes the lack, that causes the pain. It's not coming from other people. It's coming from your perception. It's coming from your forgetting the truth. So I'm going to review what I've said. I'm going to do something right at the end to kind of bring it home more and more. And I want to tell you that I surely appreciate you tuning into my Hardcore Course in Miracles presentations because I'm a full-time teacher. This is this is my function in the world. This is what I do in the world, is to teach. And so thank you, those of you who feel moved by spirit to make a financial expression of appreciation. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. If you'd like to do that, you can use Venmo. You can use the Cash App and PayPal. My email address is earlpurdy@earlpurdy.com, and Zelle also. Thank you for sharing. earlpurdy@earlpurdy.com, or go to my website, www.earlpurdy.com. You can also make a donation there if you'd like. Those of you who would like to go deeper, who would like to have me work with you personally, after 40 years of working with people with the Course in Miracles, and also I've been an astrologer and a numerologist for over 40 years. If you'd like to work with me personally as a mentor, a counselor, to give you insight into how you can apply this in your day-to-day life to give you the happiness and peace you want, I do one-on-one sessions called clarity sessions. If you go to my website, earlpurdy.com, and look under the clarity sessions tab, it explains the services I offer in detail and everything you need to know about them. And if you feel led to and you choose to, you can book a session with me. You can self-book a session right from my website. Sundays at 1 p.m. Mountain Time on Facebook, I do another Course in Miracles presentation. I do them on the Earl Purdy page on Facebook. And then Thursdays at 7 p.m. Mountain Time, I do what I call Hardcore Course in Miracles, which is what we're doing. And that's also on the Earl Purdy page, Mountain Time. So I want you to share this video. Let's spread it. Let's put it out there. I would appreciate your support and appreciate your help in that way. I think that about covers what I want to share with you. I'm here to help you. I'm here to be truly helpful. Okay, so let's go back. Let's go back and let me review with you. Let me share with you exactly the information that we were given. Okay. Also, I have tons of classes on my website that you can watch and listen to, and I have tons of videos on YouTube, including all of the workbook lessons on YouTube. So I'm here to be truly helpful. I'm so grateful to those who have been watching my classes. I have well over 1 million views of my presentations and classes, and so I want to thank the Holy Spirit and thank those who see value in what I share. It means a lot to me. That's why I'm here, only to be truly helpful. So here we go. Miracles. It's a miracle. If you stop denying the truth, you'll have a miracle. If you stop fighting with the truth, you will experience a miracle, an expression of love, a state of completion and abundance, forgiveness, peace, and happiness. The Course in Miracles calls those miracles. Now, do you know that to love yourself is to heal yourself? When you're sick and unhappy, it means you're not loving yourself. So you're asking for the love that would heal you. If you're unhappy right now, you are asking for the love that would heal you, but it's love that you are denying to yourself. I love you too. If a person knew the truth about themselves, they couldn't have that problem. They couldn't be sick. I'm telling you, and you the best also. If a person knew the truth about themselves, they couldn't be sick. If you knew the truth about yourself, you couldn't be unhappy. You couldn't be worried. So what is your job? What is your task? Your task is to stop denying the truth. Accept the truth. Don't deny the truth. Do you know the sick and the unhappy must heal themselves? They have to heal themselves because the truth, the love is in them, but they've hidden it. So the truth in another mind has to shine in their mind. So you got to think the truth around the people that you love. You have to think the truth when you go about everything you do in your day. You have to remember what these lessons are teaching, what the Course in Miracles is teaching, what the truth is teaching. If you will think this way, you are the light of the world. It doesn't necessarily have anything to do with what you physically say. I'm going to say that again. The Course is not asking you to go out and necessarily preach and teach or to do what I'm doing the way I'm doing it, unless you're so inspired to do it. What you want to do is change your perception. You want to change the way you're thinking. Let the truth in your mind, know that the truth in your mind is shining into everyone's mind. Do you know that there's love and light in even the most dastardly people? But that light and love and truth is still shining in them, even though they might have an ego that hides it. If you give no power to the fog, if you give no power to the ego, if you give no power to fear, anger, and guilt, to hide God, to hide the truth, to hide the love, it has none. For whatever limits you, makes you unhappy, causes you pain or sickness, it only has power if you give power to it. So, it only has power if you give power to it. It only has power if you give power to it. So you must yourself withdraw that power. How do you withdraw the power of the ego? How do you withdraw the sickness, the pain, the upset, the fear, or whatever's going on in your mind or anybody else's? How do you withdraw that power? The way that you withdraw that power is to remember that all power is of God. Do you know you can remember the truth for everyone? Don't allow anyone else not to remember. Do you know that anybody else's forgetfulness of the truth is your forgetfulness of the truth? But the truth is, your remembering is your brother and sister's remembering. God cannot be remembered alone. Love cannot be remembered alone. Truth cannot be remembered alone. But you've forgotten that, according to A Course in Miracles. To perceive the healing of another as the healing of yourself is the way to remember God. To perceive the healing of another as the healing of yourself is the way to remember God. You forgot your brothers and sisters when you also forgot God. But God, do you know that your Creator gave you an answer? God's answer to your forgetting the truth is God gave you a way to remember. A Course in Miracles is the way to remember God. There are many ways to remember truth. There's many ways to remember God, but I'm assuming those of you who are studying the Course and focusing in on the Course in Miracles primarily, that you are remembering that this is the way that God is helping you remember God. This is the way that love in the Creator is helping you remember love in the Creator. So I just want to tell you, mighty companion, as usual, you are a blessing. Don't forget to share this and listen to it at least 4 times. Remember it. Like it said, remember 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times in paragraph 2. A Course in Miracles said, remember. So are you getting my message? Don't worry about having to understand everything the Course in Miracles says. It's not about your understanding. It's not your understanding that makes the Course in Miracles work. It's using the ideas that makes the Course in Miracles obviously work in your life. Mighty companions, I love you so much. You are blessings in my life, and I read all your comments. And I'm going to see you next time, mighty companion. You're awesome. You're awesome. May the Course be with you. I love the 4 times prescription too. You all are awesome.